Suzanne Bray, School Uniform Practices and Policies. School Uniform Practices and Policies. School uniforms aid in school unity, student focus on academics, increase student safety, lower costs, and increase discipline. Essex Pocket Guide to School Law states that drafting of school uniform policies should be a collaboration of community leaders, student representatives, teachers, and parents. Schools must protect and allow for religious expression of all students. Freedom of expression and rights of students must be protected within reasonable limits of uniform dress standards. That uniform codes are enforced uniformly and fairly for all students. Uniform policies should be implemented as part of a school safety program, and that policies must be reviewed and revised as deemed necessary and as need arises. I found 4 court cases that found in favor of school uniforms. The first one was Kennedy versus Bossier Parish School Board, 2000. The school board mandated uniforms for all students. The parents sued, saying it violated personal right and religious freedom. The court said that the school board did not violate religious freedom or personal right. The second case, Hicks versus Halifax County Board of Education, 1999. The school was stated to have violated the right of free speech and religion. The courts ruled that the school was within its right and no rights were violated. The third case, Littlefield versus Forney Independent School District, 2001. The school board created a code for uniforms of 4 shorts, pants, skirts, and jumpers. Parents claimed it violated their right to control their child's education. The courts ruled that no control was violated, nor were there religious freedoms. Jacobs versus Clark County School District, 2003. The school board passed a code for khaki pants and red, white, or blue polo shirts. Parents claimed it conflicted with religious freedom and expression. It was ruled by the court that the school board did not violate expression or religious freedom. There are 4 steps to follow when applying court cases towards the school uniform code and policies. The first step, a school board must have the authority to set the policy. The second step, the policy must support a fundamental interest of the board as a whole. The third step, members must not have set the guidelines for the purpose of censorship. The fourth step, limits on student expression must be a byproduct and cannot be greater than they must be to achieve the interest of the board. If these 4 policies are present, the courts state that no constitutional violation has occurred due to the matter of the school uniform code and policy. School dress codes and uniform policies which may be adopted in part of safety considerations such as ease of visually identifying students at the school, must bear reasonable relationship to the school's educational mission or the need to provide a safe and secure learning environment, and not simply represent a mere matter of preference or taste, as stated by the Kansas State Department of Education. There are 2 YouTube videos which I'm going to display, which I feel cover school dress code uniforms and policy.
Who's wearing the most expensive pants, jeans, or the latest designer t-shirt. Well, that will become more difficult to discover in one Union County school district when classes start tomorrow. As News 12 New Jersey's Dave Grittebaum reports, the district is aiming to have everyone in a uniform.
Para la escuela 3.
Back to school shopping at George Washington Elementary. What's in style this year? White shirts, blue sweaters, and brown jumpers.
I like the tie, the pants.
For the first time at this school, the students will all wear uniforms.
I love the uniform.
Students and parents say it'll make kids more comfortable around each other because everyone will be dressed the same.
They're not worrying about what the other person's wearing, and sometimes people can't afford what some people can afford. So
Everybody is not going to laugh at you because you're all wearing the same thing.
This is the second year of a 5-year phase-in for school uniforms in Elizabeth. Now 15 schools in the district have them. 3 years from now, all 31 will. Each boy gets 2 pairs of pants, 4 shirts, a sweater, belt, and tie. Now the first uniform kit for each kid, the district picks up the cost. But if a kid outgrows it a year later and needs to replace it, well, then the family's got to pick up the cost, which will run about $200. And what about for those families who just cannot afford $200 a year?
Those families we're hoping to institute here in this particular school an exchange so that families are able to pick up uniforms from others as secondhand.
They'll all be in uniform when school opens on Wednesday. Till then, they can dress as though they're still on summer vacation. In Elizabeth, Dave Grittebaum, News 12 New Jersey.
they're going to love those sandals. Well, the district says it will spend about $4 million covering the cost of the uniforms during the first 5 years.
The second YouTube video.
And then everyone find your letters. Many public school districts are now requiring uniforms to be worn by their students. Sandy Blazer is the principal of an elementary school that has a student uniform policy.
Our school district implemented uniform dress code because we, number one, wanted to look at student achievement, and there was research to support that student achievement improved when students dressed in a uniform manner. That was the biggie. Second was because of the gang influence and poverty, so you wouldn't be able to tell one student from another.
Dr. Sarah Stanley of Education Plus describes yet another reason why more public schools are adopting uniform policies.
There's also a lot of peer pressure to have the expensive clothing, which can cause some real financial hardships for some families. And let's face it, wearing uniforms saves money.
Surprisingly, most parents and students are in favor of wearing uniforms.
The reason we have a dress code is because of most gangs and people were teasing other people for what they wore.
Not everyone approves of students wearing school uniforms. You know, it seems so rigid. But don't be surprised if a policy is not soon proposed in your district, because parents have been incredibly supportive.
The support for student uniforms is much stronger than most of us think. This is Education Plus.
And my references, there's the court cases, the dress code, uniform and policies, and also the Essex book, Teacher's Pocket Guide to School Law. Thank you.